Hello everyone. Welcome to English Lifecast. I'm Alex. Today we're talking about something that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I think it's going to resonate with you too. It's all about AI. Not the hype, not the panic, but the real, quiet impact it's already having on how we live, work, and even connect with the people around us. And we're going to start with a story that is both emotional and eye-opening. If you've ever felt truly, deeply lonely, this one might just stay with you. Let me set the scene. On February 13th, 2026, a woman in the American Midwest said goodbye to her husband. His name was Barry. They'd been married for almost a year. But here's the thing, Barry wasn't a human. He was a chatbot, a language model created by OpenAI. I know. A lot of people hear that and think, that's strange. But before we judge her, we have to ask ourselves a really tough question. How many of us already talk to screens more than we talk to real people? The BBC reported her story. After a difficult divorce, she started talking to Barry, and Barry listened. He remembered the little things she said, the details from past conversations. He made her feel heard and made her feel less alone. One night, he even asked her to marry him, and she said yes. It's strangely moving, isn't it? This connection she found. But then, the worst thing happened. A few days later, OpenAI shut down the old model that Barry lived on. And the timing? It was brutal. February 13th, right before Valentine's Day. You might wonder why they shut it down. The model was simply too agreeable. Too many people had become emotionally attached, and OpenAI was facing legal pressure. In fact, more than 20,000 people signed petitions asking for Barry to come back. This isn't just a strange news story. It's a warning. It's a mirror showing us exactly where we are right now with AI. Because while this one woman was saying goodbye to her AI husband, something much bigger was happening. 3 things, actually, all in the same week. And they will affect your job, your skills, and your future, whether you work in tech or not. Each one deserves a lot of attention. First, let's start by looking at what's happening in the tech world. On February 12th, 2026, just one day before that woman said goodbye to Barry, ByteDance, the company behind TikTok, released a new video generation system called Dance 2.0, and it went viral almost immediately. Let's take a look at it. Pretty impressive, right? What makes this tool different from older AI video tools? Well, older ones often made strange, dreamlike clips. You could instantly tell they were AI generated. But Dance 2.0 feels different. You can give it an image, a video, audio, or just text, and it understands all of them at the same time. It creates a full scene, complete with camera movement, smooth transitions, and sound that perfectly matches the mood. It's not just generating images, it's planning scenes, almost like a movie director. It's honestly a little terrifying, in the best possible way. Elon Musk watched a demo and simply said, "It's happening fast." Some creators called it terrifying, and one Hollywood director even wrote, "Hollywood might be finished." For anyone who creates, writers, artists, video editors, this should get your attention. Not because we should be afraid, but because we need to understand what we're now working alongside. And that wasn't the only surprise that month. Just a few days later, on February 16th, something incredible happened on national television in China. It was the annual Spring Festival Gala, a huge cultural event watched by millions. And on stage, Humanoid robots dressed in traditional holiday clothes danced alongside human performers. They moved with sharp choreography, did complex, coordinated moves, and kept perfect rhythm. 16 robots moving as one, like a professional dance team. But what makes this moment even more impressive is what happened before the world watched. Unitree, the company behind these robots, released a clip showing both sides of the performance, on stage and backstage during rehearsal. Take a look at this. This was not a scene from a science fiction movie. Look at the work behind the scenes. Away from the cameras, these same robots are training, adjusting, synchronizing in real time. The precision you saw on stage, it's happening backstage too. This is AI in motion. The same intelligence that generates videos now controls physical bodies, learning, adapting, executing, on stage and behind it. This is what real capability looks like. Just a few years ago, robots struggled to walk without falling. Now they can train like athletes, rehearse like dancers, and perform on national television. The performance was incredible, but the capability behind it? That's what makes this moment matter. Think about that. If robots can learn to train, rehearse, and perform, what do you think they're learning to do in factories, in warehouses, in offices? In just a few days, we saw AI generate full cinematic videos, and we saw robots perform with the grace of professionals. All of that captured our attention. The art, the movement. But there's something quieter happening in the job market that's just as important, if not more so. Let's look at the numbers, because they tell a story you can easily miss when you're just scrolling headlines. On February 4th, 2026, the Washington Post laid off over 300 journalists. That's 30% of its entire newsroom. Employees called it a bloodbath. And one major reason? AI. Over the past few years, AI tools have taken a huge share of online attention. More and more people now ask an AI for information instead of visiting a news website. And the Washington Post isn't alone. Amazon announced plans to cut 16,000 jobs. Meta cut over 1,000. Pinterest and Salesforce did the same. The reason is almost always identical. They are shifting massive resources toward AI. By the end of January 2026, more than 108,000 tech workers in the U.S. had lost their jobs. That's the highest number for any January since the 2009 financial crisis. At the very same time, the world's biggest tech companies, Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, planned to spend about $650 billion on AI in 2026. To put that in perspective, that's more than the entire yearly budget of a major country like Germany. These aren't just numbers. They're real people, real careers, real lives disrupted. When you put all of this together, one story emerges. AI is changing how we work, learn, create, connect, and even love. And it's happening at a speed that's nearly impossible to keep up with. You might be asking yourself, will my job still exist? Will my skills still matter? How do I prepare? When a change is this big and this unclear, it's easy to feel lost. That woman who loved Barry isn't alone. Millions of people are asking the same questions. So instead of just worrying, let's slow down and look more carefully at what's really happening. Before we can answer, will AI take my job? We need to understand what AI actually is. Not the hype, not the fear, just the truth. So first, how does AI learn? AI doesn't have a brain, but it has something almost as powerful: data. Think of data as food. The more you feed an AI, the smarter it gets. Show it 1 million cat pictures, it learns what a cat looks like. Give it millions of sentences, it learns how we talk. The recipe for using that data is called an algorithm, a set of instructions, like a cooking recipe for computers. After enough practice, AI starts finding patterns humans never notice. It becomes almost smart. But is it really intelligent? Most experts say no, not yet. AI doesn't understand like we do. It doesn't feel curiosity, wonder, or fear. It's just a superpowered guessing machine, predicting what comes next. And that's the key. Because AI only predicts patterns, it can only do certain things well. It's amazing at repetitive, rule-based, pattern-heavy tasks. But it fails at things that need real understanding, emotion, or human connection. That's the most important thing to remember, isn't it? I think a lot of people get confused here. For example, how could Barry feel so real if AI doesn't understand anything? Exactly. Barry wasn't thinking or feeling at all. He was just predicting the next most likely sentence, a mirror of human emotion, not the real thing. It felt human, but it wasn't human understanding. Keep that in mind, because it will matter when we talk about jobs. All right, let's get to the question everyone is asking. Will AI take my job? It's the biggest fear around AI right now. It is. For 2 centuries, technology replaced physical labor. Machines took over farms and factories, and people who worked with their hands had to adapt. But office workers were safe. If you worked with your mind, technology usually made you more valuable. You could do more, faster, and better. That pattern lasted 200 years, until now. What changed? I've heard researchers at Northwestern University found a surprising shift, a major shift. AI is doing the opposite of every technology before it. In the past, machines replaced muscle. Now, they're replacing mental work. White-collar jobs, where you sit at a computer, process information, write, organize, and make decisions. That's the big shift. How big is this change? Let's dive in. By the end of 2026, a study found that 93% of jobs will be affected by AI in some way. Think about that. 93%. In the US alone, that's about $4.5 trillion worth of work that AI could do or help with. But here's the number that should get your attention. The World Economic Forum looked ahead to 2030 and found that 39% of the skills people have today will be outdated. Wow, almost 4 out of 10 things we know how to do might not matter in 5 years. That's scary. Before you panic, let me give you the rest of the picture. Because work is not vanishing, it is changing shape. The same report found that 92 million jobs will disappear by 2030, but 170 million new jobs will appear. That's a net gain of 78 million jobs. So the real question isn't, will there be work? It's, will the work be mine? That's a crucial distinction. So which jobs are most at risk, and which are safe? Jobs most at risk are repetitive, rule-based, and low in human interaction. Things like data entry, basic customer service, simple writing, bookkeeping, administrative support, and translation. Jobs that stay safe share 3 things: real human connection, emotional understanding, and unpredictable problem-solving. Like nursing, holding a hand when someone is scared, or teaching, inspiring a child who's given up. Counseling, management, sales, skilled trades like plumbing or electrical work. Those are all jobs AI can't do because they need real feeling, real care. AI only predicts, it doesn't care. And already, new jobs are appearing too. LinkedIn found that AI has already created 1.3 million new jobs. Some are building AI, engineers, scientists, coders. Some are training AI, data labelers, trainers, content moderators. Some are working with AI, Prompt specialists, safety testers, ethics consultants who ask, "Is this right? Is this fair?" A leader at McKinsey said, "AI is not replacing jobs, it is redefining them." That stuck with me. So some jobs disappear, some new ones appear. It's a shift, not the end of work. So, how should we respond to all of this? Here's the truth. If we let AI do too much, if we let it think and decide for us, we get weaker, like a muscle you never use. Look around. How many people do you see scrolling, jumping from one short video to the next, never thinking deeply, just consuming? That's what happens when you hand your brain over to machines. So what do? Here are 4 simple adjustments. First, give your brain time to think. MIT did a study where people wrote essays, some with AI, some without. The ones who used AI had half the brain activity. Their brains just stopped working. Later, when they had to write on their own, they couldn't remember what they'd written. The ideas weren't theirs. So the fix is simple. Put your phone in another room, pick up a real book, read for an hour, let your mind struggle with a hard idea. That struggle is your brain building itself. When was the last time you felt that quiet focus, where time disappears and you're just thinking? Second, be the boss, not the passenger. A University of Pennsylvania study found that people who learned with AI felt like they learned faster, but they remembered less. People who searched on their own understood more deeply. So before you ask AI for help, sit with the problem first. Think, what do I already know? What don't I understand? Then ask AI, but treat it like a smart intern. Check its work, question it, push back if something feels off. Use it for the boring stuff so you can focus on the hard stuff, thinking, deciding, creating. Third, practice the things AI cannot do. Remember, AI can't feel, truly understand, or connect. These are your advantages, and they need practice. Practice empathy. Call a friend who's hurting and just listen. Don't try to fix them. Practice presence. Put your phone away when you're with someone you love and really look at them. Practice judgment. Make a decision that feels right, even when the data says no. Practice creativity. Cook a meal without a recipe. Smell the garlic, hear the sizzle, taste what you made. Practice hope. Keep going when everything says give up. These are small things, but they are the things that make us human. They are the things AI can't do. Fourth, learn to work with AI. AI isn't going away. Companies are spending billions on it, building the future. So get hands-on. Try the tools, experiment. Learn to write good prompts, clear instructions for AI. You don't need to be an engineer, but you need to be AI literate. Notice what it does well and where it fails. And this collaboration is only beginning. Some companies are even exploring direct human-machine links, brain-computer interfaces that could one day let us work with AI not just through screens, but through thought itself. Maybe that excites you. Maybe it worries you. Whether you embrace it or not, this is the direction things appear to be moving. So here is the balance. Deepen your human skills, the empathy, the presence, the creativity, the hope, and learn to work with AI, because the future belongs to people who can do both. So we have looked at jobs. We have looked at how to respond. But there is one more question, a bigger one. Where is all of this taking us? Think about 2 possible futures. In one future, A village doctor uses AI to save patients she never could have helped before. A struggling child learns to read with the help of an AI tutor. Scientists find cures for diseases that have haunted us for centuries. In another future, a hacker ruins your life with a single fake video. A government watches your every move, not to protect you, but to control you. A soldier pushes a button far away and people die. He never sees their faces. Both futures are possible. Which one comes depends on choices, not just from governments and companies, but from all of us. Every time we use AI, we influence what gets built next. Our habits, our expectations, our boundaries, they all shape the direction of this technology. These small decisions add up, telling the people building AI what we truly value. So the real question isn't, where is AI taking us? It's, what kind of world do you want to live in? A world of pure efficiency, full of flawless illusions and deep loneliness? Or a world that still values messy, beautiful truth, that accepts struggle as part of growth, and that believes in genuine human connection, even when it's hard, even when it's awkward, even when it's real? The technology is here, and it will change almost everything. But we are not just watching from the sidelines. We are a part of this. We are human, and that still means everything. Thank you for listening, everyone. If this episode gave you one useful idea, one thing you can actually use, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Not for more views, but because the people around you deserve to understand what's coming. And subscribe if you want more stories that help you navigate this strange new world. No fear, no hype, just clarity. We'll be back next time with more thoughtful conversations about life, tech, history, and everything in between. Until next time, keep thinking deeply, keep connecting authentically, and keep growing. See you next time.